Tennessee Titans were spared of having to go to Europe, although I don't know that spared is the right word. I did not realize this until I glanced at his Twitter feed, which he barely ever uses, although is using it more now, because Taylor Zarzour is the new voice of the Tennessee Titans. It almost makes me want to talk NFL with you as opposed to the PGA Championship, which is in your backyard, sir. How are you?
You taught me everything I know 20 years ago.
Oh, stop.
And, I did retire from Twitter for about 12 years, and I have come out of retirement. Well, sort of. Someone else is sending out tweets on my behalf.
Oh, really?
For the Tennessee Titans, but I'm not the biggest fan of that community.
Totally understand.
As you know. But I am a big fan. Katie Zarzour, current sophomore at the University of North Carolina, is very excited about listening to Adam Gold talk about her Carolina Hurricanes. That's for sure.
Oh, is she a big Caniac?
She is a Caniac. Yes.
Awesome.
Big time. And we will be back. If it, I mean, I'm sure you're talking about this.
Yeah.
This team can. It's been. I was next to you and Cuba Gooding Jr. and Rod Brindamore 19 years ago.
Yeah.
This feels a lot like that. So we'll be seeing you very soon.
All right, good. I'm glad. Reach out, please. But first of all, congratulations on getting the Titans gig. That is awesome. You are in illustrious company when it comes to NFL radio voices. We're obviously very good friends at West Durham with the Falcons, and Anish Sharaf with the Panthers. And you know, you did radio TV games in the preseason with the Panthers, and before that, Mick Mixon, who is still, in my mind, a legend. And sometimes when I am on our tractor, I will call Mick on his tractor and just talk John Deere-related things. Let me get to the PGA, which is in your backyard. Are you as close to Quail Hollow as Gary Williams is? We spoke to him yesterday. He says he's like a mile. I asked him if he could walk to the course. He said he would sashay.
Well, that's Gary. I mean, Gary is a sashayer. It's interesting. I'm just thinking, I know where he lives. It's going to be close. I bet you he's got me by a quarter of a mile. He's a mile and change north of the course. I'm about a mile and a half, 2 miles east of the course.
Nice.
I have to go by the course to get to his house from my house. But yeah, this is awesome, man. I mean, to get to have this in our backyard is such a treat. And, listen, there are a number of places I know that would love to stage a major championship. But if you've been here, you know this place feels like what Atlanta feels like for a college football, SEC or semifinal or national championship game. Like, it feels where a championship should be staged. Like, that is the way they've built the golf course so that it can be a main venue for the biggest events. And this feels like the crowning jewel of all of that with the way the golf course is set up. It's a real shame about the forecast. I just heard a horn sound as you were talking a moment ago, and I don't know what that means, but we had bad weather yesterday, and we are going to have a storm at some point today and a storm at some point tomorrow, and maybe one on Friday and maybe one on Saturday. But I've had the great privilege of going to Augusta National for 17 straight years, if you can believe that. And this golf course is in as good a condition as that one is. Now, it doesn't mean that, I'm saying it's Augusta National, but I'm saying it's in the same condition. And it is, it's everything you'd want for a major championship. And especially I know you're a big golf guy, but with all the momentum that the men's professional game has right now, this is it's really awesome to get to have it right here.
Oh, it is a great venue, and it's got the signature 3 finishing holes, which are no bargain to make birdie on, which is a little bit different from a lot of venues, right? When you talk about major championship venues, because there are always birdie holes coming in. I'm not saying you can't birdie 16, 17, and 18 at Quail Hollow, but there is trouble lurking all over the place. But let me ask you about the odds-on favorite, although he's not the betting favorite because Scotty Scheffler still is the betting favorite. When you go 30 under par in your last outing, It's kind of hard to overlook that. But Rory McIlroy has 4 wins in 13 tries on that golf course. Does that create more or less pressure on Rory?
If he hadn't have won the Masters, there would be extraordinary pressure because of where we're playing and the fact that he hasn't won a major in 11 years. Instead, I think it just creates a tremendous amount of comfort. Maybe it creates too much of it. I think that's a fair question coming in, because this place is really like a second home to him. He won his first PGA Tour event here 15 years ago. Traditionally, most of the last 15 years, he has celebrated his birthday here, and each year. He just turned 36 last week. So this place it carries a lot of special meaning to him. Last week, when he saw Jordan Spieth, Spieth congratulated him on completing the career Grand Slam, and Rory said, "Well, you're next week." And Spieth said, "Yeah, right, at Rory McIlroy Country Club." It really does. I mean, he knows this golf course better than anybody. He is extremely comfortable on it, knows where to hit it, hits it further than anybody, can take lines that anybody not named Bryson DeChambeau can't take. He has a massive advantage here because of the comfort level he has. But having said all of that, the guy that you just referenced before him is the best I've ever seen at executing the correct shot time and time again. Tiger Woods didn't always execute the right shot, especially off the tee. In fact, Tiger's recovery shots were remarkable. Scotty doesn't hit recovery shots because he doesn't need to. He always hits the right shot, and he's got to be a factor. I mean, he's always going to be a factor, but he's got to be a factor this week.
Again, he was 30 under par. He made a joke of which was it, the CJ Cup, right? The Byron Nelson. He made a joke of it.
Yeah, 31 under.
30. I shorted him one. I feel bad. That I shorted him that one stroke. Yeah, I mean, look, there aren't that many guys who can make a mockery of a PGA Tour event. It created a narrative that it's boring. I'm like, I get it. Scotty isn't the most exciting player to watch unless you like low scores. But he's just a technician. I mean, he just takes apart a golf course. Real quick about Jordan Spieth, because he is the next guy who could complete the career Grand Slam. His road back has been maybe even a little slower than he would want. How close do you think he is to getting the whole game back?
I think he's closer, Adam. He is way better off the tee than I have ever seen before.
Okay.
His ability to find fairways off the tee is better than ever. The thing that I still worry about with him is you put him in the middle of the fairway, he wants to have a 2-minute conversation with Michael Greller about hitting a standard wedge or 9-iron shot, and he has a tendency to overthink those shots. You put this guy under a tree with a water in front of him, he's going to hit the greatest shot in the world because it requires one remarkable 20-yard cut or draw, and he doesn't have can't go through there? No. He doesn't have a chance to overthink the shot. But in the middle of the fairway, he's doing way too much of that. And that's the thing that I worry about still with him, is that he is not Scottie Scheffler. He can't hit the same standard shot over and over again. He's getting better at it, but I think there's still in the back of his mind, he's worried about his wrist. He had surgery on it last year, and anytime he makes contact with the ground, there seems to still be some hesitation there. So the consistent performance that we've seen from Spieth is still not, to me, the same level as the first 5 or 6 guys you would name to win this event. But I hope he finds the best week, because that'd be a great story for us to follow the next few days, because he's a lightning. He brings a lot of energy with him, and because of his passion for the game, there's going to be a lot of people out here pulling for him, but I'd be a bit surprised if he has a real chance to win Sunday.
Taylor Zarzour is joining us here. Aside from all of his other jobs, host on SiriusXM in the morning, the starter, but also anchors their coverage of Major Championship golf. So I know you'll be very heavily involved this week. You would agree, though, that Spieth and McIlroy and Bryson DeChambeau are the 3 needles in the sport to whatever degree. I think Rory's the biggest needle, maybe Bryson next, but then Spieth would be right behind, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that if you asked golf people that love golf, Rory is the biggest name.
Yeah.
If you ask anyone that might be interested in watching a tournament, Bryson might be the biggest name. I don't think you have to love golf to be interested in Bryson. He brings a different dynamic. But yes, because of the way Spieth plays the game, the creativity and the uncertainty of what might happen next, yeah, I would say his name is probably next in this, I guess we're calling it this post-Tiger Woods era.
Yeah. It is a post-Tiger Woods era, unfortunately, because, it's been a long time since we have seen him. It's hard to believe that 2019 is 7 years ago. I'm blown away that it's 7 years ago. Before we let Taylor Zarzour go, we'll just ask him this question. Other than Rory, who wins?
Bryson.
Yeah.
And I think, especially given how soft it is, Adam, the length is a massive factor here. This is a huge ballpark. It's almost 7,700 yards from the tips, and you have to hit the ball in the fairway, and you have to hit it 300-plus yards off the tee so that you can have a mid-iron to a short iron in your hands. And I think that this Bryson, we've seen in major championships over the course of the last 12-plus months, really beginning at the Masters last year when he was a factor, PGA Championship last year when he lost by one, the U.S. Open, which he won, the Masters last month where obviously he was a factor until the last 9 holes. This guy is very comfortable in this setting, and I think this major championship probably sets up best for him. He doesn't have the experience on this golf course that Rory has, and there is a little rivalry that seems like it's brewing between the two of them. Now, if you're asking me like who I'm most confident is going to finish in the top 5, I would say Scotty. I'm less worried about him having a bad round than anybody in the field, but I do think the ceiling for Rory and for Bryson is higher than it is for Scotty, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And he'd be the next guy I'm looking at. I didn't like what I saw with his irons at Augusta National.
Correct.
He had a lot of remarkable recovery shots over the weekend. But if he has those dialed in better than he did in April, then I think he has a real chance to win the PGA Championship.
I just hope when Bryson and Rory are paired together in the final group, I hope Rory at least says hi. So Bryson will.
He wasn't going to do that. He tigerized his mind, if that's a word.
It is
that last day. Like he head down, focused on winning. Period. And I think that served him well, and it got in Bryson's head, which I didn't think was possible. So that'd be a really interesting story if we get to that.
Taylor Zarzour at Titans TZ. You changed your Twitter handle, too. Good for you. Congratulations on that gig. Hit me up when you guys are headed over to Lenovo Center for a game.
I would love it, man. I can't wait. Thanks, AG. I appreciate you, man.